take one marker.
I am Akil Carrillo, and I'm white and Latino.
At school, when you were talking about how people might not expect you to know Spanish, or they read you as something that you're not, I'm just curious, how does that make you feel?
I don't know, I kind of like proving them wrong.
I grew up in Guatemala for the first 4 years of my life until I moved to San Francisco. Being mixed race makes me feel more comfortable in many different places. Over my life, I started noticing that there are a lot of mixed people. Most people are mixed, but they are hidden, so hidden that some people don't even know they're mixed.
The theme of ancestry has sort of been the guiding force in my life, I think, since I can remember. The name that arose for me was Mitlan, which means death in Nahuatl, and Xochi, which means flowers. So I like to translate it in English as the person who brings transformation to death.
My name is Lauren Crew, and I'm a photographer. I'm half black and I'm half white, and I definitely identify with that. I know some people who identify as black when they're half, or white, or either or.
I often identify as a Chicana, Indigena, biracial woman.
When I started to try and straighten my hair and cut my bangs, and I thought that was normal, but then when I would come home and my brothers and my mom and people would sort of say things like, "Why are you trying to be like all the girls at school?" Being mixed, you get stereotyped sometimes from both sides. Certain people who are like, "Oh, you're mixed, you must be exotic and you must be," and you're just like, dude, I was born in LA. I guess from about 18 to about 30, 31, the body of work that I was working on was all about grief and loss after having lost my mother. And it was a very deep self-exploration of the experience I went through.
I had a classmate who came up to me one day and he told me, "Angela, you're really lucky, that you're mixed race because you can see things from multiple perspectives." And I didn't quite understand it at the time because I was caught up in wanting to belong to something. And I saw my mixed race as a barrier of belonging because I didn't really identify with white American culture. My grandparents were migrant workers and they didn't like to talk a lot about their past. I said a prayer asking for guidance to reconnect to my ancestry, to reconnect to my indigenous heritage that would help me relate to Mother Earth. I like to think that my ancestors are always with me, and my ancestors are reminders to never let your mixed ancestry be a space to doubt who you are and your purpose in this world, and that we're as valuable just as much to one side of our lineage as to the other. And sometimes that's a greater responsibility because there's a lot of healing to do when different lineages come together. Being mixed race is an opportunity to beg the question and to ask, well, how do I fit into this story? I think it opens up a whole new world of possibilities around self-determination. And because of the struggles and the challenges, I hope it makes me more empathetic and more courageous to include other people's stories beyond my own.
For me, being mixed race is really a lucky thing because I can relate to different people. Being mixed is like having two lives.